Welcome to another episode of me inserting my opinion where it wasn't asked. Hi, my hair is refusing to be a part of the team. I don't know what to do with it. It's just gonna look like shit. I am going to be ranking Queen Mother, Lana Del Rey's LPs, records, albums, whatever you want to call it. I recently fell in love with Lana Del Rey's music, and this was in November 2019. I really haven't been a fan of her for that long of an extended period of time. This is a fairly recent obsession, but I've known who she was since she released Born to Die. My mom was a big fan of her. A lot of her remixes my mom was a fan of. I also do have all of her vinyls, which I will be showing once these albums come up in the list. And I really should just say, Lana Del Rey does not have a bad album. She doesn't even really have bad songs. Her music is so incredible. It's really what it is. Take this list with a grain of salt. You know, this isn't like the list that trumps them all, because I feel like everybody has their own list, and that's completely fine. Just felt like maybe I would insert my opinion where it wasn't asked. Let me get this organized. Okay. At the bottom of my list, 2015's Honeymoon. I will go through the vinyl first. This is what the cover looks like, obviously. It's such a fun cover. You open it up and this is what you get on the inside. Get this lovely picture of her. I don't think she looks that great with bangs, even though I think those are clip-ins, but like it just doesn't suit her. Here's what the back of it looks like, and I don't know if you can tell. I don't think you can actually see that. We have cleaning people who come to our house like every other week. They use oil on our dining table because it's wood, and I had put my vinyls out on our dining table, and they put Honeymoon on the bottom, and it absorbed like half of the oil, which I was so mad and upset about, and it had like spots all over. It was a mess, but it looks like it's fine now. I don't see that much. Anyway, take out the first sleeve and you get this lovely picture of her. She's so beautiful. Then on the back you get the songs and who it's written and produced by, and just black vinyl. And with the first slot you get this thing. It's a book with all of the songs. How fun is that? How do kindergarten teachers do this? I can't even hold this book and flip the page at the same time. Look at all these fun pictures. That's it. Then the second sleeve, another lovely picture of her, and again, song names. This one has Salvatore, which I'm so mad about with this vinyl specifically because it skips on Salvatore, which I'm so mad about. I remember I was listening to it for like the first time. It started skipping towards the end of the song, which I'm happy it was towards the end of the song, because if it was skipping in like the middle of the song, that would have been even worse. I didn't keep the receipt for when I bought it, so I was kind of screwed. I was like, well, I really fucked myself over with that. That's the vinyl. And let's talk about Honeymoon. Honeymoon is very gloomy. I think that's the word to use. It's like all of the instruments have reverb on them, and then the entire song has reverb on it too. It's just reverb city, which I'm not particularly mad about. I think it gives for a really dreamy, gloomy effect. I just think that sometimes it's a little too overboard. Like some of the songs would be better without so much of it. I also do believe that some of her most underrated songs are from this album. You know, at this time when she released this album, she was facing a lot of criticism from, you know, music critics, people in the industry, for being, you know, victimized girl in an abusive relationship. And I think a lot of people didn't understand the fact that she was just making art and not trying to be, you know, famous or anything. And I think that that's why she faced a lot of criticism, and I think that that definitely reflected in her music, which is really unfortunate. However, I don't think that a lot of the songs on Honeymoon have that, you know, boom pow that people are looking for in a pop song, and I feel like that's why it doesn't really catch that many people's attention. None of the songs are bad, they're all just okay. Like if it came on in the car, or if you were just shuffling your music and it came on, you know, you'd listen to it and you would enjoy the song. I really don't think I could see anybody going out of their way to listen to certain tracks from this album. Some of my favorites from this album are High by the Beach, Freak, Salvatore, The Blackest Day, and 24. I think my favorite is probably High by the Beach. It also has sort of like a hip hop theme to it, like you know what I'm talking about if you've heard the song. It also seems like it's one of her first experiences with a trap beat, because that's a trap beat. It was definitely interesting when I first heard it. I was like, who the fuck is this? Wasn't mad about it for sure. I just don't think that Honeymoon has that star quality that her other records do. It is a milestone in her career for sure. I don't think it stands out over any of her other albums. With that being said, I think we should move on. The next album in my list is 2014's Ultraviolence. Here's the cover, a picture of her getting out of an old ass car, and here's the back of it. Track names. You open it up and you take out the 2 vinyl sleeves that come with it. And I despise these vinyl sleeves. They are the worst things in the world. This is the paper that you would find in, a public restroom toilet that you would put on the seat before you sat down. It is awful. Just forget about those. Then you get this, a picture of her smoking, surrounded by a bunch of lovely plants and flowers. And on the back it has the songs and who it's written and produced by and sung by. Does it actually say that? Who it's sung by? Yeah, vocals by Lana Del Rey. Even though that's not your real name, but whatever. I was trying to look for the word to describe this album, like as a whole. I was watching an interview that she did with, I forget who. She said that she wanted Ultraviolence to be very atmospheric. And that was the perfect word that I was looking for, and that is how I'm describing this album, is very atmospheric. It is sort of her first experience with having a rock sound, because there are a lot of rock instruments. There's guitar, and there's drums, and there's a bass. And I also do believe that Ultraviolence kept her in the music industry. With a lot of artists that put out their debut album, Lana Del Rey's being one of the best debuts in music history, sometimes when an artist will release their second album, and it isn't better than the first album, they kind of taper off and their 15 minutes of fame is gone down the drain. I personally don't believe Ultraviolence was better than Born to Die. I do believe though that it was different enough to keep people interested in who she was as an artist. A lot of the songs on that record are kind of just like, also here. Some of my favorites from this album are Cruel World, Ultraviolence, Shades of Cool, Brooklyn Baby, West Coast, Pretty When You Cry, Money, Power, Glory, and Fucked My Way to the Top. I think my favorites are Shades of Cool and West Coast. In West Coast specifically, I love how the tempo changes with the chorus. It goes from like 100 something beats per minute to 60 beats per minute. A lot of mainstream songs don't go as slow as 60 beats per minute, but she fucking pulled it off. I think we should move on to the next record. And that record would be 2017's Lust for Life. I love this album cover so much. She just looks so happy. You open it up, you get another lovely picture of her, and then flip it to the back, you get this lovely picture of her. How lovely is that? It's so lovely. The first sleeve is a picture of a weird looking building, and on the back of it are the tracks that are on these 2 sides. This one has flowers as some lovely pictures, and has the song names. I feel that Lust for Life is definitely the matured version of Honeymoon. It definitely feels like if Honeymoon had been given, a lot more time and a lot more thought, definitely that's what Lust for Life is for me. It has some of the trap beats. It's very, reverb, and she has that filter on her voice, which isn't a bad filter. It's not auto-tune for sure, because if it was auto-tune, I wouldn't be listening to her. And I do feel that the production is better on Lust for Life than a lot of her records before, mainly because you hear sounds that you probably haven't heard before. A lot of the synths in the background of these tracks I've never heard before for sure. And, some of the trap beats, especially in the song Cherry, when it has those, noises, like those kind of noises in the song, I've never heard that shit before. She does it so flawlessly and beautifully, and it sounds good. Like, it fucking sounds good. One thing that I do say that I don't particularly like about this album is that there are a lot of features on it, and if you have watched any of my, reviews in the past, I'm not a big fan of features. If I'm listening to an artist, I want to hear what they did. I don't want to hear somebody else. If I wanted to hear somebody else, I would go listen to somebody else. There's just a lot of features, and I feel like a lot of them were unnecessary. Some of my favorites from this album are Love, Lust for Life featuring The Weeknd, 13 Beaches, Cherry, White Mustang, In My Feelings, God Bless America and All the Beautiful Women in It, and When the World Was at War, We Kept Dancing. And my favorite has always, it's kind of been like jumping around recently, but the one that's been constant on the top has been Cherry. I don't know what it is about that song. It's just 3 minutes of perfection to me. I love her vocals, and When the World Was at War, We Kept Dancing. 13 Beaches has one of the best instrumentals I think I've ever heard. Like, period. And I love the instrumental in Love. It's very explosive almost. It comes in all at once. And I also think at this time she was definitely establishing her sound and who she was as an artist. I think that it's definitely reflecting off of how Lust for Life, sounds. The next album. Some of y'all are probably going to kill me for this, but the next album on my list is 2012's Born to Die, including Paradise. The only reason I'm including Paradise is because they're kind of the same record, except Paradise just has extra songs, and so I'm grouping them together. It's the front cover and the back of it with just all the song names. You take this out, it's that awful paper again, and we put it back in because we don't know her. There's also this lovely picture of her that comes with it, along with the lyrics on the back of this. Go in, you stupid bitch. And then Paradise, which this is probably my favorite cover from her. I don't know why, I just love it so much. Here's what the back of it looks like. How lovely is that? We open it up and we see it's the same paper, so we put it back. There's just another paper. It literally is the same background, it just says Paradise on it, and then it has the song lyrics like how Born to Die had that piece of paper. I think Born to Die is definitely an essential for Lana Del Rey's discography. The essential. Period. Born to Die was one of 3 records by women to stay on the charts for longer than 300 weeks, which, oh my god, is insane. Born to Die was on the charts for almost 6 years. Born to Die is definitely a timeless record, mainly because it didn't use that many synthesizers or artificial instruments, it's just what I'm going to call it, in the production of this album. And I think that that's going to have to do with the fact that it's going to sound timeless for forever. Some of y'all are really about to kill me for the songs that I like from this album. Anyway, the songs I like from this album, and Paradise, we're going to include it in this list anyway, is Born to Die, Blue Jeans, Video Games, Dark Paradise, Radio, $1 Million Man, Ride, Cola, Blue Velvet, and Gods and Monsters. Out of Born to Die, I think my favorite would probably be Blue Jeans, Dark Paradise, or $1 Million Man. Blue Jeans is probably at the top because that song just has a nostalgic feel to me. It reminds me of taking long road trips with my mom, and then she would play a remix of that song in her car, and we would blast it, and we had such a good time. Out of Paradise, it would probably be Cola. I don't know what it is about that song, it just struck a different chord with me, even though the first, few lyrics are, "My pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola," which, good for you, but you might want to get that looked at, which you probably have. I'm hoping you did. Unless you want your pussy to taste like Pepsi Cola, which in that case, do you? You're probably wondering, where is Summertime Sadness? Hate to break it to you, I don't like that song. I never understood what the hype was about that song. I don't like it. I also didn't really like Carmen either, and I know so many people who like that song. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. I don't understand. No, I don't understand. I think if somebody came to me and wanted to get into Lana Del Rey, I would definitely suggest Born to Die is the first thing that they listen to. I think the reason that Born to Die is as popular as it is because at that time, music was kind of starting to sound the same. You know, there were no big, artists that were putting out stuff nobody's ever heard before. And then Lana Del Rey, Born to Die, smacked everyone in the face like, a bus running into the music industry. Totally smacked everyone. It totally changed up the pace. And I think that's why Born to Die is seen as one of her greatest records, is because it totally smacked everyone in the face. I think it's time for my favorite album, in my opinion, Lana Del Rey's best record, 2019's Norman fucking Rockwell. This record, bitch. I love this album cover so much. Open it up. You just get the songs. This is a very underwhelming opening to this vinyl. And then the back of it. How fun is that? The first sleeve is just a picture of the ocean, and then on the back you get another picture of the ocean, and then the second sleeve you get another one of the ocean, and then you get the Mariner's apartment complex on the side, which is kind of cool. I think that one of the reasons why Norman fucking Rockwell is my favorite is because of the production. It definitely feels like it is the matured version of Born to Die, which that's how I felt about, Lust for Life. Lust for Life was the matured version of Honeymoon. I definitely feel like Norman fucking Rockwell is the matured version of Born to Die. With the not so many artificial instruments, not having a, vocal effect. And her voice is definitely a lot more controlled in Norman fucking Rockwell than what it was in Born to Die. And I think the production also has to do with the fact that Jack Antonoff is the one who produced it, which he will go down in the history books as one of the greatest music producers of all time. Of all time, bitch. He also helped produce Lord's Melodrama, which we know how incredible melodrama is. It is that bitch. Norman fucking Rockwell also doesn't really have any trap beats like Lust for Life did. It was definitely a very big contrast. Lust for Life was definitely very modern based on the time it was released. That's kind of when hip-hop was starting to, rise to the top of the charts. She definitely tried to go down that route, and I don't think that she failed at it. I just don't think that she did that great in it. And then it very much felt like she went back to her roots, and that's why I love this album so much, because she definitely figured out what her sound is, and it shows in this album. It really does. And the production is just effortless. It is so good. Some of my favorites are Norman fucking Rockwell, Mariner's Apartment Complex, Fuck It, I Love You, Doin' Time, Love Song, Cinnamon Girl, How to Disappear, California, The Next Best American Record, The Greatest, and Happiness is a Butterfly. I could listen to this record over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and I would not get tired of it. Her voice is absolutely flawless. I really want to say a lot of the same things that Melon said about this, so I'm going to link his review. Hi, Editing Mateo. So I'm just going to put his review up in the corner right here because I'm lazy and I don't want to put it in the description box. Even though I do think that it is a better record than what he is making it out to seem, I just don't think that Lana Del Rey is necessarily his taste, and I think that that's okay. But she's definitely my taste, and I definitely understand this record in a different way. God forbid people have different opinions. There you go. That is my list. That is my Lana Del Rey worst to best, and as she releases new music, I will continue to, leave a comment down below, and I will let you know where I would place, the next album that she's going to release, which I'm always excited for new music. Also, by the time this video goes up, it will be one of my best friend Casey's 18th birthday, which, happy birthday, Casey. I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing 18th birthday, because what a hard time to have a birthday. You can't go out and see anyone. I hope you have a good birthday. I love you. Feel free to let me know what your list is down below. I'm more than happy to read what you have to say. I do also just want to say that she is, like, in my opinion, the best vocalist. Like, come for me all you want. Ariana Grande's good. She has an incredible voice, but oh my god, Lana Del Rey's voice. Oh my god, bitch. Oh my god, bitch. Oh my god, bitch. Oh my god, bitch. Alright, well, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye, children. With Honeymoon, I think the right word to use is gloomy. It is reverb upon reverb. It is very gloomy. Like reverb on top of reverb. I can't fucking talk.